Hey guys, it's great to see you again. If you are new here, my name is Bill Benoist. I'm a certified professional career coach in Silicon Valley. In today's video, I want to talk about a question that I'm often asked, and that is, should I take a contract position? Let me tell you, I don't believe any career coach or any career advisor or anybody really out there can answer this question for you. You have to answer it yourself. You have to answer it based upon your immediate needs and your values and what's most important for you. But I can share with you my experience of having taken contract positions. In the early 1980s, I was in the banking industry. That's the industry that I started in. I wasn't always in technology. I was working as a bank manager for savings and loan industries, and this was during the time of the savings and loan crisis. So what would happen is I'd work a couple of years with a savings and loan, and then the RTC, which was, one of I would say the sister company of the FDIC, they would come in and they would take over the S&L. They would arrange mergers with maybe another S&L down the street. That S&L would take the assets, but they wouldn't take the people, and boom, you're out of work. So then I would go find another savings and loan that I could work for and be managing them for a year or two. And the same thing happened again. In fact, if you think about it, you don't see very many S&Ls out there anymore. But in the early 1980s, they were like on every street corner. So what happened was, after probably the third or fourth merger and being displaced, I went back to school. I took this 8-month program on local area networks, wide area networks, and I got into technology. And when I graduated from that program, I immediately took a contract position, and that was by my own conscious decision. It was by design, whereas a lot of individuals that were graduating from that program waited and took their first full-time position as a technician. I wanted to do contract. And my first contract position was about a 3-month position. It was with Acer Computers, where I was on a help desk, working, 8-hour shifts, very militaristic, where, you just sat down and the phone automatically rang and you answered it and you hoped that individual on the other end. I did that for about 3 months, and then another recruiter called me and said, hey, we got a great opportunity out here at Netcom. And Netcom at the time, if you remember this, maybe you don't, they were an internet service provider. And I loved that position for a couple of reasons. Number one, my pay went up. I was almost making as much as I was by this time after only 4 months as my last position with the savings and loan. But I also loved the internet. It was just a lot of fun. I was learning a lot of stuff from there. About 3 months later, that contract ended, and within a week, I mean, not even a week, I think it was probably 3 or 4 days, I was called by a recruiter to work with a medical software company where I was providing support to doctors and nurses and hospitals on this application that was developed. By this time, my pay had actually increased what I was making as a savings and loan manager. And I did this for maybe 3 months. It was a short-term contract. And then I was called to work at a semiconductor company in the Bay Area. And again, my pay went up and I was providing some desktop support. Did this for 3 months or so, and a recruiter called me and said, hey, we got a permanent position that is open. I think you would be a great fit for. And that was a company that I spent the next 18 and a half years at. And I went in as a senior desktop support specialist. And at the time that I walked away from that 18 and a half years later, I was vice president of information services. So it worked for me. But it's not going to work for everyone, because for me, let me tell you what some of the pros and cons were. I think the biggest pro was that, and I see this with just about everybody that works contract, your salary can go up very, very quickly. And this is a great way to get your foot in the door if you were doing a career change, like what I was doing. But you learn also very quick. I mean, you're just kind of thrown into the fire. And maybe for some people that's not, the way they like to go. But, when you go through a school, you go through a program, they teach you about all the concepts. We were learning about about routers and TCP/IP and all of these things, but then when you get out there, those things break, and you need to kind of take what you've learned, the concepts of it, put it together, and then fix them on the spot. So it really increased my skill set as well. I also liked that there was no office politics involved, because as a contractor, you're really not kind of part of the group, which is where all the office politics come in from. But on the, what I would say, the con side of things is that you're also not part of the group, so you're probably not going to be invited to some of the Christmas parties or company picnics. You're not going to be the one that's picked to get to go off to, this training for the next couple of days. If the company is having some, what I would say, challenges, economic challenges there, the contractors are often the first to be let go. So they're, definitely not the stability there. But again, I think there's not much stability anymore with anything that we do. There's no benefits out there. You're likely not going to have your 401k. At this time, I didn't even have medical through my company. I had to take care of it myself. But there was no sick time. There was really no vacation time. And again, you don't have that inclusiveness there. But for me, it worked. It worked out really well. So again, you need to kind of come back to what's most important for you. Where are you at in your career? And kind of make the decision based upon that. So I hope this video gives you a little bit of insight into whether or not a contract position is something that's going to work for you. If you are in career transition or you're maybe looking for another job, definitely subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification. That way you're not going to miss anything moving forward.